Galactic University floated like a polished jewel in the quiet orbit of Relthar Prime, a sanctuary of education that welcomed over 400 species across the known galaxy. It prided itself on tolerance, innovation, and peace. For 12,000 years, its doctrine had remained unchanged: knowledge above fear, diversity above dominance. Its departments stretched across spires and biodomes, adapted to plasma-based thinkers, fluid-bodied logic structures, and the more conventional oxygen-carbon models. Species classified under garden worlds, Class 1, made up the majority. Peaceful, soft-gravity creatures evolved in gentle ecosystems. Temperate world species, Class 2, added complexity and ambition. But the rare and often whispered about Class 3 species, those born of death worlds, were anomalies, dangerous, biologically chaotic, strategically unpredictable. No one expected one to apply, and no one expected the application to be approved, but bureaucracy moved slowly, and the rules were ancient. Under Section 14 of the Galactic Inclusion Mandate, any sentient being capable of interstellar communication and peaceful expression could not be barred from enrollment based solely on origin status. So the system processed the name: Nora Wynn. Species: Homo sapiens. Planet: Earth. Classification: Deathworld. Red Zone 3A. Physical Risk Index: Elevated. When she arrived, the docks went silent. Nora was small by many standards. Barely 6 meters tall, her frame compact, her stride unhurried. She wore the standard synthetic fabrics of the university, carried no weapons, and registered as chemically stable. But something about her presence set nerves on edge. Her muscles were too tightly coiled beneath her skin. Her gaze locked too easily. Her body posture suggested ease, but not safety. Her schedule included Physical Culture 101. Faculty assumed the entry was an error, an elective choice made without understanding the implications. The department reviewed her file 3 times before allowing attendance. There was no policy to forbid it. The first day of class unfolded in the multi-species kinetics dome, a structure layered with gravitational rings, biomechanical terrain platforms, and thermal fields. The instructor, a sentient vapor from the upper pressure zones of Meraxis named Zelen, adjusted his form into a denser, more visible state. He tried to suppress the unsettling reaction of his class. Students from across systems gathered in silence, eyes fixed on the human. The first task was gravitational resistance. Each species was placed in a chamber calibrated to increase weight and motion strain incrementally. Most students performed well under expected thresholds. Nora watched from the side, arms crossed, expression unreadable. When her turn came, the system defaulted to 0.9 gravity. She requested 1.1 Earth standard. Permission was granted. She moved with unsettling grace, running, leaping, twisting midair. Her movements weren't just strong, they were calculated, efficient, controlled. When gravity increased to 1.3, then 1.5, then 1.6, students gasped. By 1.8, others had begun shielding their vision sensors, unable to watch what they assumed would be structural collapse. But Nora remained standing, breathing heavily, yes. Perspiration marked her skin, but she was stable, unbroken, focused. The next test measured neural reaction speed. A swarm of light beams, random, color-coded, coming from multiple vectors, required rapid response time. The average species reacted within 600 to 900 milliseconds. Nora's responses averaged under 220. Systems recalibrated. Several students watched her with a reverence bordering on fear. One even quietly excused themselves to change their elective choices. Thermal tolerance followed. The chambers fluctuated between extremes. Most life forms could withstand 2 to 3 minutes. Nora remained composed at both ends of the spectrum, emerging from the cold chamber with ice still clinging to her eyelashes, then stepping from the heat pod with only a thin sheen of sweat. But it was the endurance loop that marked the turning point. Students were instructed to maintain constant motion through an obstacle ring where gravity, resistance, and elevation changed every 30 seconds. Most lasted 10 minutes. Some 15. Nora ran for 57. The AI monitoring system flagged her vitals multiple times, but each time, the anomalies proved non-lethal. Her heart rate remained controlled. Breathing stabilized at a lower rate than predicted. Muscles strained but did not tear. Her focus never wavered. Her face did not show strain, only resolve. She finished the course only because the instructor intervened, not from failure, but from concern for the others. Later, in the atmospheric gardens, whispers turned to dread. Students speculated. They asked the archives. They dug into human evolutionary history. They found stories verified of humans who ran for hours through deserts to exhaust prey, of body temperatures regulated through evaporation and salt, of bone density evolved for impact, not retreat, of species-wide exposures to viruses, bacteria, and environmental instability that had shaped the human immune system into something close to weaponized resilience. They learned that humans smiled as a form of challenge, laughed when afraid, got stronger after injury, and that Nora, by her own record, was not among the elite performers of her species. She had siblings who lifted more, ran faster, survived longer. Some students changed dormitories. Professors met in quiet conferences. Within 2 standard rotations, the university enacted an emergency adjustment. Deathworlders would be assigned to specialized kinetics programs, designed and staffed by faculty trained in Class 3 physiology. In private, Zelen submitted a second report to the academic board. It contained a simple recommendation: no further assumptions regarding Homo sapiens, no more underestimating Deathworlders, and no more mixed-group physical assessments, for their own safety and everyone else's.